Hey everybody, and welcome back to Bearcat Update. I'm your host Jason Holland, and today we'll be covering the homecoming bummer, the winning weeks of soccer and volleyball, and we'll sit down with golf star Paige Hoffman. Before we get into the action, make sure to take a second to subscribe to KNWT TV on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified the second that we post new content. Let's get into the news.
5 into the end zone, touchdown Northwest. Runke back to pass, looks, throws, looks for Simpson, caught into the end zone, touchdown Northwest, Jamar Simpson.
The streak of excellence just after I play against a team continues, as Monday's win was the second in a row after beating up on Newman. Apparently, Kaylee Rock took it personal that I thought that I could play with her. She scored 2 goals and added an assist in the 3-0 takedown of the Central Oklahoma Broncos. But it wasn't just a big afternoon for Kaylee, as goalie Lily Ellis broke the school record for shutouts in a career as she recorded her 17th. The game was the final of the year at Bearcat pitch, leaving their home record at 5-1-3 on the year. It was a much-needed win as the Bearcats are attempting to make a push for the playoffs. To start the road stretch, the Bearcats headed to Tahlequah, Oklahoma to face the Northeastern State Riverhawks. It was a smooth sailing as the Bearcats cruised to a 2-0 victory. It was another dominant afternoon for Kaylee Rock as she tallied 2 more goals. Rock is absolutely scorching hot to end her senior year, notching her 8th and 9th goals of the season. She is just 1 goal away from tying her season career high of 10, which she posted in her sophomore season. That convincing victory pushed the Bearcats to 6-4-5 on the year and is the 3rd consecutive as they continue to aim for postseason play. Despite the midseason slump, the Bearcats are peaking at the right time of the season. So to help you guys watch the upcoming postseason game, we want to bring something new to Bearcat Update. Our reporter Anthony Martinez is looking to explain the ins and outs of soccer so you viewers can learn right beside us. Take it away, Anthony.
Hey guys, I'm Anthony Martinez. I'm with Bearcat Update. There are 2 versions of football in this world. The one that we know here in the United States and the one overseas, which we call soccer here. As soccer is on the come up in the USA and growing rapidly, many people still don't know the basic rules of soccer, which is completely fine. So today we'll be going over the basic rules of soccer and how you can learn something new today. The first soccer rule we are going over is offsides. It is almost comparable to the one in football, but under different circumstances, of course. When a player passes the ball to his teammate, the teammate needs to be behind the last person on the back line. Here's an example of offsides. Notice how he is past the last defender in the line of defense when the ball is passed to him? That's not allowed. Now we can look at an example on what is not offsides. In this clip, you can see that he's still in front of the defender when the ball is played, which is completely legal. This type of pass is also called a through ball, which can be hard to defend if the defense is not organized. The next soccer rule we are going over is called advantage. This is when the ref will purposely not call a foul on a player due to his team still having a promising attack. This rule will not always be guaranteed in a game, as it depends on what the ref thinks in a certain situation. Here's an example of advantage. See how that was a clear foul from the opposition? But the player who got fouled, his teammate got the ball and continued the promising attack. By this rule, the ref allows play on. And as you see in this clip, the team ended up scoring. The third and final rule that we will be going over is penalties. When you go and kick a penalty kick, you only get 1 run up to the ball. And once you start moving forward, you cannot move backwards. Here's a clear example of what a penalty kick should look like. Now, in the run up, you can do some hesitations, but you still cannot move backwards, as Alan Polito from Sporting Kansas City does here. And he scores the goal. From the goalkeeper's perspective in penalties, there is one strict rule that every goalkeeper has to follow, and this rule is called staying on your line. If the goalkeeper decides to pick a side and dive to attempt to save the penalty kick, he at least needs to have 1 foot on the goal line, which is behind him. Here's a clip of a save from a goalkeeper, which did not count. When the goalkeeper dives, he didn't have any feet on the line, which is not allowed. In this situation, the penalty kick is going to have to be retaken. Now that we have gone over some basic rules of soccer, I hope that you have a better understanding of how the sport works. I also recommend checking out soccer more, as it is on the rise here in the United States. I'll be kicking it back to our host, Jason.
Thank you, Anthony. I certainly learned a lot about soccer. But one thing I do know is that the volleyball team absolutely showed out this week as they claimed victories in both of their matches. The Bearcats traveled to Joplin in a match against the Missouri Southern State Lions, and it went down to the wire, but the Bearcats prevailed in a 3-2 series win. The deciding round finished in a narrow 15-13 victory for Northwest. And to close out the week, the Bearcats faced the winless Newman Jets team. The win streak currently sits at 3 matches as the Bearcats are ranked 6th in the MIAA. At 12-9 on the year, the Bearcats are hitting their stride just in time. We're going to take a quick break for Bearcat Update. Stay tuned to catch the highlights of the homecoming football game.
Unlike other organizations on and around campus, here, the students do it all.
KNWT is a student-run and student-produced television station.
To support this content, you can go to our YouTube channel at KNWT Channel 8.
And watch the latest shows or even enjoy blasts from the past.
All right, that was good, y'all. It's on the breakdown set. Hey, welcome to Nerd Central, your one-stop shop for anything movies, TV shows, and even the latest celebrity news.
From the newest releases and even your local film festival, we'll have it all right here.
We're here to uncover the Easter eggs that you might have missed and even the secret plot lines that you might not have picked up on. Right here, we'll uncover the mysteries on Nerd Central.
Launching Wednesdays at 6 on KNWT TV.
It was a long afternoon this Saturday as it had been 8 years since the Bearcats had lost on homecoming. The last time being in 2014 when Northwest fell to Pittsburgh State by a score of 35-17. With the Pitt State Gorrillas coming in at a record of 7-0, being ranked second in the nation, certainly felt like a David versus Goliath type of game. History repeated itself when the Bearcats fell 28-7 after the Bearcats managed just 290 total yards. It was a game that looked very promising at the start, but got away shortly after the start of the second quarter. In that treacherous second quarter, the Bearcats would give up 21 unanswered points, so they would head to halftime down by 3 scores. Turnovers certainly ruled the afternoon as the Bearcats turned the ball over 3 times in the messy game. But on the bright side, Jay Harris again continued his streak of 100-yard rushing games with an efficient 123 yards on just 19 carries. Luckily, the football game wasn't the only festivities of the day as the homecoming parade was produced right here on KNWT TV. So to recap the 99th homecoming celebration, we had our reporter Caleb Allen on the sidelines to catch the action. Take it away, Caleb.
Northwest Missouri State took on Pitt State this week at Northwest Annual Homecoming. Northwest has come off a pair of wins and was looking to improve their record as they took on the number 5 ranked in the nation Pitt State Gorrillas. There was a lot of tension leading up to this game, with it being Northwest homecoming and the Bearcats wanting to perform well. Northwest started off really strong on defense, stopping Pitt State from a handful of drives that led to a really quiet first quarter. Although our defense played really well in the first quarter, Pitt State defense also responded really well, holding Northwest to 0 points as well. As the second quarter, Northwest ran into some trouble. Northwest offense continued to struggle, but Pitt State took over, scoring 21 points in the second quarter. The Bearcats had no answers for Pitt State's offense. And as for Northwest offense, they couldn't get anything rolling either. Before the third quarter got started, Northwest honored a handful of alum that were being entered into the Hall of Fame for Northwest. One of the big standouts that entered the Hall of Fame was Seth Wand. Seth Wand not only entered the Northwest Hall of Fame, but also entered the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame of induction. Seth Wand is a former Bearcat offensive tackle. He was drafted by the Houston Texans in the 3rd round of the 2003 NFL Draft. He also played for the Tennessee Titans. Seth Wand had a very successful career at Northwest and went on to have a successful career in the NFL. Now entering the third quarter, once again it was more like the first quarter. It was very quiet on offense, but also Northwest kicked it up on defense, keeping the score 21-0 at the end of the third quarter. Going into the fourth, Pitt State answered with another touchdown. As the game came to a close, Northwest ended 28-7. This most likely closes Northwest's chance at the playoffs. But Jay Harris collected his 8th straight 100-yard rushing game with 123 yards on Saturday. Harris carried the ball 19 times and was also named the Don Black Award winner. The award is presented to the most valuable Bearcat player in the homecoming game. At the end of the day, both defenses held their own as neither Pitt State or Northwest put up 300 yards of total offense. Northwest now looks to regroup and finish the season strong as they take on Washburn next week. This has been Caleb Allen, signing off.
Now falling to 4-4, the Bearcats have some work to do to finish the season strong. With just 3 games remaining on the schedule, there is much work to do as the offense continues to struggle. It has been a disappointing season for the Bearcats, and after years of dominance, it appears that they have finally run out of juice. We're going to take one final break. Make sure to stick around to catch an interview with golf star Paige Hoffman. See you in a minute.
KZLX LP Maryville. Your 24/7 Top 40 radio. Live radio coverage of events, live concerts, and DJ service.
This week on Nerd Central, we clown around and terrify with real recommendations. Dig up the foxhole with Fantastic Mr. Fox, then rip in the Chainsaw Man with Anime Stitch. Catch new episodes of Nerd Central Wednesdays at 6 on KNWT TV.
Welcome back to Bearcat Update. This week, the golf team traveled to Warrensburg to compete in the Midwest Intercollegiate Invite. They would go on to finish 6th out of 20. In back-to-back weeks, they have recorded a 2-round total of 6-18, the best in school history in consecutive weeks. In the second round, the team posted a 295 total, notching the first sub-300 round score in program history. Junior Paige Hoffman continued her run of good golfing as she tied the Northwest record for an 18-hole performance as she finished with a total of 68. She finished tied for 10th and notched her 15th top 10 career finish. The impressive performance was the final action of the fall semester, but they'll be back in the spring to pick up where they left off. Our reporter Micah Storey sat down with Paige to get to know her beyond her performances on the green. Take it away, Micah.
This year, Northwest women's golf team played extremely well, breaking both the 36-hole record and the 18-hole record.
Northwest was a good fit for me because of the people. I did my freshman year of college at the University of South Dakota, and after a year there, I decided that Division I golf was not going to be the best thing for me, and so I started exploring Division II options, and one of my best friends, Kylie Carey, was here, and she had a good freshman year, and she kind of prompted me to come here, and upon talking to Andy Peterson, the head coach, about the program and seeing the course, I just knew it was a place I could be happy and fit in, and just the culture of the group is really what made it for me. Yeah, this season was good, especially for the team. I think that's the most exciting part of this season was the success we were able to have as a team. We just were a lot more consistent this season as a group, which was exciting to see. Individually, I kind of had a rough start, but bounced back, and so that was nice for me, but overall I'm most impressed with the team. Yeah, this season I would say was full of ups and downs for me, more ups than downs, but the second half of the season was definitely better than the first. Starting out, I kind of struggled with my putting, and I worked on that with Lathan and switched putters. Lathan's our graduate assistant. He does a lot for this group, and he helped me through that, and so we were able to have a better back half this season. I got fourth at the Central Region preview, which was really exciting for me. I closed out the season shooting 2 under par 68, and so that was a good feeling, and tied for 10th. Had 3 top 10 finishes, something like that. So that's always nice to see. I'm really proud of how my wedges progressed throughout the year, and I think it was a good year overall. I think we definitely have the potential to go out there and potentially make a regionals if we kind of just sync up on the right days. I think this team saw the potential it has this fall, and I think we're just going to expand on that and build on it for the spring, and I think we're more motivated than ever to have a good finish to the season.
It wasn't just the golf team that showed out this week. The cross-country men's and women's team performed in the MIAA championships and went off. The men took home third place with Drew Atkins taking home a 10th place finish, and teammate Nate Mueller finished seconds behind him at 11th place. The women certainly held their own as they finished 6th. Most notably was Elena Tybbold, who took home 11th place with her teammate Taylor McCready right behind her at 16th. It was a successful end of the season as many athletes look to build momentum heading into the track season. This week we won't be having Beyond Game Day as my producer put me on load management. But that's all the time that we have for Bearcat Update. I'm your host, Jason Holland. You're watching Bearcat Update, the provider for complete coverage of Northwest sports. We post a new episode every Monday at 6 p.m. and you can find us on YouTube at KNWT TV. As well as Bearcat Update, you can watch all of KNWT TV's other content as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next week.